Greetings everyone, John here. Another Company Heroes 2 replay. So on the left side, as the USF player, we have Elazurg, and his ally as the Soviet, we have Addies. So on the right side, as the OKW player, we have Dalamu, and his ally, also OKW, we have Duke of Wellington. We do have two immediate doctrinal lock-ins. We do have the Breakthrough Doctrine, as well as Heavy Cav. So Pershing versus Jagdtiger. Kubelwagen is on the build queue, so eyeing for some early captain pressure for red. Magenta? Panzer Fusiliers, that's why he was a little bit delayed. And actually not immediately going for Squad Panzer Fusiliers and going for Volksgrenadiers, probably for like, what doctrine should we go with? And rather than trying to cancel, resubmit a unit, they decide just go ahead and go on with it, I'm guessing. Wait, oh, this is actually quite unusual. We have grenade package being researched right now. Something you don't really see all too often, eyeing some early grenades. I was clicking there just because I was just sort of looking around and... Speaking of looking around, why is that squad so separated? Usually that's from like trying to garrison when there's already a unit inside the garrison. That was a bit unusual. Oh, wait, what? There are 3 combat engineers. It's going for... It doesn't even have airborne. So, that's unusual. These combat engineers need to fall back. We do have a M3 scout car coming on out. Most likely for this squad. Not enough munitions for a flamer. Munition point has not been secured. If he would have actually fully secured, he had plenty of time to fully secure it actually. Engineers are not known for super high damage, and you can mitigate the damage by going to war on the left side where there's only 2 windows rather than 4 windows. But heavy cover is better to fight from than light cover. Though actually 2 windows and light cover is probably better than 4 windows and heavy cover. It's something I sort of try testing out. We have a Kubelwagen here, 2 rifle squad. He has garrisoned this building, which is a horrible garrison to use. He needs to pop out, use this hedge right here as light cover. Oh, right here, there's only 1 window to fire, and there's no windows over here for models to fire out as well. They can't fire out of doors, even though there's a big opening. Kubelwagen sustained severe damage, decides to just go ahead and use it for capping. The Volksgrenadier player the OKW player has a lot of cover here, thanks to the nearby garrison. And really, he can make usage of this heavy cover right there. This soft retreat will be met up by an ambulance. He has frag grenades, remember that. Don't think we've seen any. We've got munitions draw on for the Soviet player thanks to the flamer, which is 60, so perhaps 1 or 2 grenades have been thrown. Wait, what? He lost 1 of the combat engineers, but he has 2 scout cars with engineers, only 1 flamer, however. And Panzer Fusiliers do have a stock AT grenade, which is a good item versus these M3 scout cars. So I guess that early Volksgrenadier was pretty good at throwing off your opponent's build order, I guess. Does not throw out AT grenade, didn't want to risk losing the squad. And we'll start rushing down the squad. There are flak guns back at bases of both OKW. You don't need to worry about whose base defenses are actually used. And yeah. The Battle Group HQ was spotted, but it'll take... It takes 3 central charges, but I think it only takes 2 demos. But I don't think he has enough munitions for that number of demos. What's that flamethrower guy doing? Look at that! He's actually firing because it's not doing any damage. I think he can do damage. That flamethrower got bugged out. It looks pretty funny. Unlikely he was going to get the kill on it, that's for sure. May have been bugged out, but I don't think it would change anything. Volksgrenadier squad decides to do a full retreat. He needs medics back at that battle group HQ. He does. The thing is, he has pushed forward with these guys. They can't reinforce until this sector is fully captured. So he should actually stay back, reinforce, then move up to healing, because he's not going to be healing either as well. Good map control coming out by the Soviet player. Thanks a dual M3 white scout car. It's called a... Well, in this game, you don't ever... You hear the term, them yelling out, white scout car. It was because I think it was made by a company known as White. Or at least that's what it was. The M3 white scout car. That was the, like, US designation for it. I don't know why the name of White came about. I'm not sure if it was a company that made it or subsidiary, or maybe the engineer's last name was White. It was probably White. Okay, that's enough of that joke. Here in MG34, it is the Kubelwagen's MG34. Volksgrenadier has stayed a couple model drops, so ambulance is still somewhat forward. And we have the captain now. He has upgraded the bar. No weapon racks back at home. And the structure is still horrible. There's even heavy cover from this truck. I think that's actually a truck, not a Jeep. It's not a tractor. What is this thing? It looks like a truck of some sort. Of course, Jeep is a brand, and that was a great frag grenade, hitting many windows, doing a significant amount of damage. Kubelwagen, dead. Volksgrenadier here, super wounded, didn't jump back inside the garrison, though we do have a pretty good flank here. Incendiary grenade could come on out, while he has too many models inside for all the windows. This can attack from multiple directions, so the windows will be quite good. Incendiary grenade comes through, these guys are super wounded, they need to fall back. The explosion itself was actually quite damaging. These squads could go down. This one could still go down. This one could go down. Oh, barely just made it out of there. M15's AA half-track is now out. Does cause some suppression there. Rear echelon here to support as well. We do got the flak half-track for the northern OKW player, the magenta player. And we do also have some Rangers. I think he was trying to go a bit soft on the riflemen in order to spend more on the Rangers. Would he go for Thompsons? Would he go for triple bars? Or would he go for triple bazookas? Triple bazookas is really powerful and really nice. Panzer II is a good counter to the M15. I believe the cannon itself can only fire when it's stationary. M3 scout car with Penals are here. Does pop out, hitting the ambulance. Will the Penals jump out and throw a satchel? Satchel is thrown. Try to focus fire the M15 was unsuccessful. And kills the Panzer II. Saves the M15 thanks to pop out. The ambulance itself didn't go down. He tried to retarget, but that little bit of extra health and removing the vehicle prevented the continuous fire of it. So excellent support by the Soviet player, saving the US player. We do have the M1 and 80 tank gun coming on forward, the 57mm. True mines being built, flak half-track moving on forward. Just Volksgrenadier up here. No fighting position of any sort. Of course, it's the Soviet player, not the US player. Just one moment. Sorry about that. I had my phone go off. It was a bit far away from me, and I had to, of course, pick it up. Let's see. Looks the M3 here with the PTRS is trying to come in. Will pop up a squad. Is going for a satchel charge. Those lose it, but I believe that is enough. He's going to lose his own squad with the explosion. He doesn't actually kill it off. One PTRS shot does kill it. And now treats back those lose it in the end. Is that worth it? Well, at this point, I would recommend for the Storm Pioneers upgrade of Panzerstrike over the Minesweepers. But was that worth it? 300 manpower for the Penal Squad, additional, a sort of short life expectancy for the M3. So, yeah, I'll probably say that's a worth, because while the Penal Squad and Flak half-track are both valuable, the M3, not so much. It's generally goes beyond its life expectancy. Plus, he's already used one quite successfully to get the kill on the Panzer II, saving his teammates M15. So I would say, yeah, in the end, probably worth it. You have Thompsons on those Rangers, and you do also have a T-70. The Cannon Warfare is out. Storm Pioneers can be upgraded with a Panzerschreck. Hopefully, ideally, I would say having both. If you have the PTRS, you might as well go for a full Panzerschreck as well. One PTRS does nothing in combat, but having a PTRS just to supplement a Panzerschreck, I believe that actually puts up to the 160 damage threshold per volley. M15 here suppresses multiple squads. Rangers will go ahead and drop a couple models, but could potentially get the wipe in that squad, but it's unlikely. Does get a model, but doesn't actually get the wipe. He still has frag grenades, and this seems like a good spot for a frag. Does throw out a frag. A nice dodge, but sort of went back into it a little bit. And thanks to the M15 half-track, he may have actually saved his rifleman squad. That rifleman squad stayed around too long throwing that frag. You can do a Q move, queue up the frag, and then the retreat button, so once it gets done throwing frag, it will immediately withdraw. Rangers are still here, 3 men. Yeah. Riflemen are forced back. The Rangers are forced back as well. Again, we're setting on up. There's a plenty of line sight blockers, assuming he realizes it's under fire. Second Cannon Warfare Force had no prioritized fire. Hits the captain. Of course, does nothing. Your squad moving on forward and moves on back. Great hit right there. Another great hit. Could potentially see a Panzerfaust. We will see a Panzerfaust. Sure, Panzer Quarters up. Main gun destroyed. Panzerfaust out. T-70 is dead. Not a big surprise.
White scout car, ready for orders. Listen up, fellas. Taking fire! Forward element, increase fire!
Looks like we do have an Allied supply drop. We do also have a doctrine lock-in of Soviet industry. So a lot of repairs for both the Allied players. Though, if there's enough repair base in one area, it will probably be best not to jump out the USF vehicle crews and just let the passive repairs take action.
Combat unit ready for action. We're losing a capture point.
There is a penal squad in the back of this. Only 4 out of the 6 rifles will be able to fire, but it does gain a lot of protection, and so which that the penal squad is just not receiving any fire whatsoever. Just the M3. Tusha's actually out on the field. And probably the next item he'll go for is the KV-2. Ooh, flame incendiary grenade for somewhere. I see some dead folks here. Or what were those Storm Pioneers? Great amount of damage coming out from this Storm Pioneer squad. No upgrades whatsoever just yet. Nam 3 is still in the area, needs to withdraw. Combat Engineers getting suppressed and shot up. The Pino squad here won't be able to accomplish all too much. I think these squads may have been forgotten about. Oh, that was a good Katusha barrage. But doesn't get the wipe. Though he got himself distracted, losing the Combat Engineer squad.
We now have access to additional battlefield options.
He still has one Combat Engineer squad, so he does have repairs, or able to build repair stations at least. Another supply drop coming in. If he activates the anti-aircraft mode, he can shoot it down. But not enough, quick enough reaction time. He may not even realize what those crates are. He could be thinking that's, oh, like, we're fighting against airborne. Great. But it's not. It is not. Ranger's super wounded. Frag grenades gets thrown out. Was unsuccessful. There is a Puma here in order to gauge the M15. The M15 appeared to have received some fire, but we'll go ahead and pop out the crew and repair. And we're first, still no prioritized fire. Pounds of Fusiliers behind heavy cover. Another Vickenwerfer, so there's two Vickenwerfer. Good anti-tank. He does have the Schürenpanzer quarters, as we saw earlier. His teammate does not, so perhaps he's going for Stukas. He's got the Panzer II and the Puma. He's getting the SW has half track now, so he's definitely going with the Schürenpanzer quarters.
Supply half track is in action. Standing by for setting of command post.
Frag grenade out. Incendiary grenade out. That's a pretty good frag grenade from the Rangers. A lot of damage across all those squads. In fact, to the point where he may want to consider dropping a medical crate from the Sturm Pioneers or do a soft retreat. I know where to soft retreat to for healing. Currently, the VPs are favored by the Axis players at a small margin, but there's going to be a double cap right now and soon to be triple cap in their favor. Frag grenade, or incendiary grenade, I should say, thrown. The suppression will keep him inside the radius of the incendiary effect. Sustaining a lot of damage. He can soft retreat towards the ambulance. The MJ-34 suppressing the rifleman squad, just finding a small angle, but now we do got the Rangers now moving on forward. There was also sprint slightly on the captain because he was at Bet 3, out of combat sprint. I hear the Puma down here. Couldn't find an angle on the M15. And great damage coming out on that Volksgrenadier. MG-34 will receive a frag grenade, but was unsuccessful. We do got the on me being utilized from the captain. But the Ranger could still go down, but it's out of radius.
300 points remaining.
M15's main gun can be effective versus the Puma. The Puma does not have a whole lot of armor. You ever see a retarget to the MG-34, but do not. Another Ranger squad is here. SWS half-track Mr. Rally. Good rear armor hits here. The Puma could actually go down. Throws out AT grenade, which actually kills the Puma. That was a pretty big throwaway, and great positioning by the M15. The SW has half-track, could go down as well, and does go down. Minor victory, it's really cheap, but big reinforcement. There are 2 MG-34s, 2 Sturm Pioneers, and 3 Volksgrenadier. A lot of anti-infantry, only 1 Vickenwerfer. All you needed to ward away against the M15, but so far the M15 has been so successful. Probably, largely in part, I'm not going to say it, the Soviet player saving that M15 is probably what really kept the US player in the game. Rifleman receiving fire from 3 squads of Volks. The lack of bars being a bit problematic, but not really. Frag grenades keep them displaced. M15 will go ahead and suppress some more. This red OKW player, he lost so much. Left 18s won't help him either. Left 18s are good against static emplacement. Close range Katyusha Barrage nearly wipes out 2 squads, but this squad here, the defense crews, could actually get the kills. And no, they're all penal models, so I'm sort of surprised those squads didn't actually get wiped. Because there's actually multiple penal squad models, up to 4 of them were shooting at them, but not a single hit. Beginner Warfare getting caught on out. He can't be losing the Beginner Warfare. He does have another one now. But he can't be losing Beginner Warfare. He needs those to engage the M15. And we also got the KV-2 now out. Where would we go spot with the KV-2? Right here could be pretty good. Able to fire over the buildings and structures. We got hold fire being activated, not prioritized vehicles. I think it's a little bit oversight. Because this time, he won't be getting shots off. He won't rotate his turret in order to gauge stuff. He needs to have prioritized fire. Well, prioritized vehicles, not prioritized fire. I think he realizes his mistake now. Great shot right there. KV-2 hits like a truck. 152 millimeter, it probably does as much force as a truck going through, well, something.
Standing by.
Captured Bekenwerfer in an unusual position. There's only one window on this side. Could be good, but don't really think so. There's also a triple cap in favor of the Axis player, so the Allies really need to push for those VPs. Nothing's protecting up north, nothing's protecting down south. The Bekenwerfer could jump out and capture. The US player is trying to make more headway. It's a large assault in the open field. 2 Thompson Rangers, 2 riflemen, a captain, and now the Pershing. This OKW player does have 2 Bekenwerfer. Rolls and miss there, but does significant AoE damage. Frag grenade gets thrown out. May get some of the members, but not all too much. Is that a hatch of a tank that went flying? Yes, it is. Katyusha Barrage coming on in. Wipes out the Bekenwerfer. Can be recruited. This Bekenwerfer is receiving fire. He does have a Panzer IV, which is not exactly great versus the KV-2. The KV-2 is actually moving on back here for repairs from this repair station. And decrews the other Bekenwerfer as well. He does have a 3rd one back at home. This could be another Bekenwerfer for the Soviet player. The Soviet player will love another Bekenwerfer. Good hit right there. The building does get scraped. Actually, I think they destroyed all the hard points for him to use on that side. No longer he can fire with folks over here. Maybe? MG-34 reloading. Does hop in the Bekenwerfer in there, but it's prone to being wiped if a couple hits in there. Frag grenade, incendiary grenade. There goes the Bekenwerfer. The MG-34 is probably next. And holy crap, the US player pushed very far forward. A big explosion that was there. It must have been a Goliath. I see a lot of exploded corpses there. The US player says all of his squads, so I'm not sure what squad, if any, full squad was actually blown up there. It looks like MG-34 may have been blown up, actually. I think these are machine gunner models. And the fact that he had 2 MG-34s, so I think it was a MG34 that got blown up. 82 finding a good hit there. Now there is a cap in favor of the Allies, so they have reset the tickets. I'm not going to reset it, that's probably better reviews. But counting in their own favor. And stop the clock upon their own. We do have only one re-echelon squad for repairs, but oh, the repair stations! These repair stations are going to become quite handy for the Pershing. So even if he does lose the rear echelon, the repair stations will pan out in the end. That's very nice to have. Frag grenade is thrown out now. The Panzer Fusilier frag actually did more damage than I actually expected. I think the fact that he was moving, that all the models were on cover, did extra damage to him. Another incendiary grenade gets thrown on out, and he's sort of trapped in there. He's going to need to fall back. Look at some good hits there, but now dropping off a lot of models. Panzer IV and Goliath now moving on forward. Jagdpanzer on the build queue, now out on the field for the red OKW player, which is a good item versus the Pershing as well as the KV-2, so good item. He's running a bit low on fuel, so couldn't save it for a Panther, but also the Jagdpanzer may be generally a bit better, assuming he keeps at good range. Pershing getting some friendly fire damage. M1 AT gun getting one hit. Pershing gets a hit. Another good hit there. Lining up another shot. Nope.
Show 300 points on their line.
Katyusha moving on very far forward. I hear the Goliath moving stealthily. Will this wipe the Pershing? Oh! It bounced off the Pershing, I believe.
Tank destroyer is ready for orders.
Because I could have sworn that was going to be a direct hit. It didn't do full damage. I think it actually may have, some of it, of the AoE effect bounced. Great hits on the KV-2. A couple bounces from the Jagdpanzer. The Jagdpanzer has really good rate of fire. Not super great armor penetration in comparison to Su-85. But still pretty good nonetheless. KV-2 withdrawing to be repaired. Pershing... Nope, that's a Jackson. More fuel, but gets shot down. What is the aircraft flying? Ooh. That was actually really close to taking out the Katyusha. What is this thing hitting? I think he's force firing the Kenilworth. He has focus sight on. Maybe? He doesn't have prioritized fire on. I hear another Goliath. Here it is. Post Grenadier making an assault over here. Not a good garrison for a rifleman. Only one window. Not able to fire out from this side. Incendiary Grenade does come on out. Two of the Kenilworth engaging the Pershing, and Ranger Thompson's on the flank. Katyusha barrage. That's a good Katyusha barrage. Two Katyushas now decrewed in the center of the map. Panther moving on forward. Multiple pinned Panther tanks, so he can actually run them over pretty easily, but receiving so much fire from all the nearby units, he needs to withdraw. Great hit by the KV-2, knocking out the MG34. On the Rangers, forcing the sprint forward. The other Ranger does get suppressed. Great hits onto the Panzer IV. And it looks like Jagdpanzer will get the first shot on the Su-85, so it's in a good position, but still have to generally be a bit careful. Jackson Looks like it repaired. Not sure how much damage it sustained on all of that.
Brooks Grenadier are on the line.
Emberfer rolls a miss on the Su-85. Down south, there's nothing protecting it. Nothing protecting here. So, there's room to harass the other points. This is one of my pet peeves. I always like to at least keep a single MG on the near VP just so it protects it. Lots of units moving on down this direction. Not realizing there's actually nothing there, so you could easily spread out and capture. Well, that's 2020 caster vision. Katyusha barrage coming in, going for a very tight-knit barrage on top of this Mechanowerfer. Does decrew it. So now there's 4 weapon teams decrewed here. Potentially a 5th one if that's Mechanowerfer. Oh! And no hits on the Katyusha. But great hit coming out from the Axis player onto the Allied armor. Multiple good hits. Panther does have some room to maneuver since all the damage it dealt, but there's still Jackson here, AT gun, and KV2.
One of our capture points.
4 good hits, but a lot of bounces. A flare from something.
Infantry support gun. Counter fire.
The Pioneers here are getting way outnumbered and I think forgotten about. Does go down. 2 Pioneers here.
Lost a squad of infantry.
Does withdraw. He needs to make sure he keeps one of these Sturm Pioneer alive because he needs the repairs. Katyusha barrage. Ooh, that could have been deadly. Long range barrage. And not any wipe on the Katyusha. Ooh, but that's a dead rifleman. There is a cap in favor of the Axis players. They are still ahead by tickets, but only by a small margin right now. Let's see.
Continue the push. They are now at 100 points.
How many repair bays? There are 3 repair bays back here, which is great for repairs. The Soviet player has a lot of fuel stored up, so you may want to save up his manpower for other items now. Actually going for another penal squad. I would disagree with that. Yes, so much they know about the Goliaths. The N-15 is still alive, so never mind, they have AA. But I would say I would disagree with the penal squad and spend his fuel. Another Katyusha could be quite good. T-34. He has 2 Su-85s, so Katyusha or T-34 will both be great. Even a T-70 at this point. Weird enough to say, a T-70 in reconnaissance mode would actually prove quite useful. And I usually don't advocate for building T-70s for in the late game, but at this point, it's actually an argument to make to actually for it to be good, and that is a great hit. Nice reconnaissance spot by the U.S. Major. And outright destroys that Mechanowerfer. Second Jagdpanzer coming out for the red OKW player. Very good idea.
Prepare to execute.
Jagdpanzer moving on forward. Multiple anti-tank units hitting that Volksgrenadier, which actually did save the Jagdpanzer from quite a bit of abuse. Does receive another hit right there, however.
Panzer has arrived.
Receiving more and more damage. As a 4 here, the Schumann has never been complete. Actually gets destroyed. Needs a blitz on out of there. One more shot, and it's down. where's this Panther? Panther moving on forward. Needs to move forward, hit the S-35, I would say. Panzerfaust does, or AT grenade does connect with the KV-2. Great hit by the KV-1, but the KV-1 can dish out a lot of damage. Just has a really low rate of fire. And the turret rotation's being utilized against them. Rolls a miss, but the Kenworther does get the kill. He needs a blitz on out there. There's no way the Panther can safely engage. Line sight block comes on in, but for... Whoa, where did that... I don't think that was a shot from the KV-1. It was from the Su-85. Or, no, it was a HEVAP round. Oh. You don't see the HEVAP round being used all so often, but that was a HEVAP round from the Pershing. Jackson will most likely win out this duel, but goes down to the Kenworther. And the Kenworther is still alive. Bounce right there. There is a shoe mine there. Pershing relining. Rolls a miss. Bad packing just needs to keep moving. Shoe mine connects. Lost vision. Oh, that could have been bad actually. Because of course it allows him to receive counterfire. I'm surprised that both Yag Panzers managed to escape out there. KV-2's dead, he loses the penal squad. The Soviet player has lost actually quite a bit of items. We do got a soldier here, 2 Thompsons. Incendiary grenade does come out, does do a significant amount of damage, will help people deal some extra damage to the Thompson Rangers. Frag grenade thrown, does do a nice dodge, but was forced to go inwards. 1 Ranger squad is forced back. This Volk's entirely wiped. This squad could be easily next. It does also get wiped. However, no such thing for the Ranger. Pershing's still alive, but receiving the Kenworther fire. You can throw in a couple more AT grenades. Great hits there. A frag grenade thrown. That was definitely a misclick. That was definitely a misclick. Because that frag grenade went straight onto the Pershing. Kenworther rolls a miss on the M15. That one hit. And gets wiped. Fresh OKW Panther ready to go out on the field. Jagdpanzer are receiving quite a bit of fire right there. AT gun in Jackson. Katusha a little bit too far forward at this moment. Tickets are counting in favor of the Axis players. They only down with 35 tickets as well. Volley fire successful. The negative cover providing extra suppression. M1 AT gun recruit. Jagdpanzer supporting the Panther. Rolls a miss. Actually hits the M15.
We're down to 75 goddamn points.
Goliath wounded. And that is a good spot. Perhaps more forward, I would say, right here. So even the auto attacks could potentially kill it. I don't think that's actually in cover. It is. But he's currently stationing these units here because they can't risk of any VP going down, so he needs to keep a garrison. Jagdpanzer are getting good hit. Katusha Barrage wipes out the Kenworther. Those close range Katushas being quite effective. Oh! The forward retreat point was actually under siege, is under siege by the assault artillery. There goes the ambulance, a critical unit for a forward retreat point. Pershing, oh, the smoke interfered with the fighting capability of the Jagdpanzer. Frag grenade thrown on out by the Pershing. And that was actually a satchel charge from thrown on the ground. Snares the engine of the Jagdpanzer. Both those units are super wounded. They need to fall back, push back even farther. I still think that's a bit dangerous. Forward retreat point still activated. He needs to deactivate it unless he's trying to stall off with the ambulance.
We got a new unit ready and
It goes on a long cooldown if it does deactivate, and does deactivate and does a full retreat. Ooh, the M15. Losing multiple crew members. He can no longer regarrison it.
Crowds are taking
That is an
over points.
M15 and available to the OKW player.
Commanders, be advised. Ability
Oh, albeit
now ready.
no anti-aircraft usage for it, but you can stick at the top of the map and suppress any unit approaching that VP. That is an excellent item for the OKW player to have in this point of the game, where suppression is actually quite important in order to securing the map. Speaking of suppression, there's actually MG34, poorly positioned I might add, right here.
Unit ready.
We do have a Panzer IV on the build queue to support the Jagdpanzers. Probably a good idea. Stukas Fus is a tempting item for me. And also the Left 18s, because if I had the doctrine for it, I would try to build it. But probably not a good idea. E2 relining. Not a great shot right there.
They have 25 points remaining. Victory is at hand.
The Soviet player just doesn't have enough manpower for deploying anything out on the field. He has enough manpower now to get T-34. He has the KV-2 out. KV-8! I forgot about that option had that. KV-8 is a perfect item because it provides a lot of anti-infantry. Doesn't get the wipe on the Rangers, but stops the capture.
Awaiting order.
Loses the M15, but nothing's here to capture. So, not a huge issue, I would say. And that's the end of the replay. And that was a very good game by both players, but I think the Allies sort of... They just lost too much. And they didn't capitalize on some key moments up here where they had two severely wounded Jagdpanzers but didn't manage to kill them. If they would have killed both of them, the game would have probably been much